Welcome to The Hats. The Hats is a weekly podcast hosted by licensed marriage and family therapist and author Melissa Dumaz and attorney and business owner Kerri Harper-Howie. Listen in for practical tips on how to keep your hats upright, how to handle life when one of your hats gets lopsided, and plenty of real-life solutions to help you balance the many hats you wear daily.
Hello and welcome to the Hats Podcast Season 9. Wow, you are seeing us for the first time, I think. Seeing us in video, for sure. You've seen our faces, you've seen pictures of us, and you've seen a couple of, maybe one live performance. You've seen a couple of things online, but you've never seen us live in living color from our brand new recording studio. Yay!
That's a whole nother hat.
Oh, I mean, it is a full-blown other hat. And so it will not surprise you, Hatters, as we have talked over the years a little bit about our careers, a little bit about the things that we're doing. We have entered an era where we've decided it's time for us to launch Season 9 and for it to only appropriately be called the Boss Bitch Season. Sometimes I'm a little nervous to say that, but I think it just needs to be said.
It just needs to be said.
And so Mel has a couple times made it more ladylike and said the boss lady season, the boss-ish season. Like there's a lot of ways to say it, but we are going to spend the next several weeks with you talking about what it means to be a boss. And I think we both consider ourselves to fall in that category. Don't you agree, Mel?
Amen.
Amen. So what we're going to do today is first say welcome to our studio. We're so excited to have you and to interact with you in this different way. Rest assured, you will definitely still be able to find us in all of your favorite podcast apps on your phone or wherever else you might find us. But we're so excited to launch a YouTube channel that will also have a video recorded version of our podcast when it's just us or when we have a guest. Sometimes we'll be on studio, sometimes we'll be online, but from this day forward, you will be able to experience us however you like. So how are you feeling about this new venture, Mel?
Two words come to mind. One is level up and then upgrade you. And so because of those two words, I'm thinking a Sierra song, level up, level up, level up, level up. And then Beyonce song, partner, partner, let me upgrade ya.
We can dance too. Y'all didn't know we could dance.
So absolutely excited. Thank you, Hatters, for being back with us. Thank you for being on this ride with us for 9 seasons. We have completed 8 seasons. We're entering to our 9th season. And I didn't even know if when we started this, we thought we'd be going into 9 seasons.
I don't think I did. It's so funny because I feel like you even introduced the idea of seasons and you were like, we can't just go on and on and on. And this has been a particularly long hiatus. And now you can see why we've gone to great pains to try and make this an experience that does, in fact, feel and look elevated. And, you know, we are not in Hollywood in a studio with a producer and a whole team behind the scenes.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But what we do have is our passion for this purpose. We have Melissa's magnificent husband, who you all met multiple times during season 8. And if you haven't, go back and meet him and my husband. And he is our chief technology officer, and his salary is super high. He makes the best salary. He gets all the love and hugs from me, love and other stuff from her.
Other stuff. That's funny. So Hatters, as Carrie said, this season is called the Boss Bitch Hat. I think that's the first time I've said it so firmly. But the Boss Bitch Hat, and as
Boss Bitch season.
yes.
Yes.
So it could be the Boss Bitch Hat as an episode also, but yes, you're right. The Boss Bitch Season. And if you don't want to say that, like Carrie said, you can say Boss Babes, you can say Boss-ish, Boss Ladies, whatever floats your boat. Just know that this season is going to be filled with all things boss, mom, boss wife, boss lady, and we can't wait to share more with you. So, Carrie, do you want to tell them a little bit about the episodes we have coming?
Sure. We've got really the focus is on how we show up in our professional lives, and sometimes also in our personal lives. But really, a lot of our guests are going to be talking about the things that we've done to elevate ourselves professionally or how others have done that. So, for example, you all know that Mel and I are both authors, both best-selling authors.
Woo!
Yay! And so we had slightly different publishing experiences. So we're going to talk about being an author. We're going to bring on a guest who's going to talk about publishing and editing. And we're also going to just kind of talk about what it means for me, at least why I wrote the book and what that means for me professionally. We're also going to have, I'm very excited about this episode that we're going to have with a woman named Dee Robinson. She is the consummate entrepreneur. She has start and stopped multiple businesses. She's very successful. I was on a panel with her last summer. And something that she said resonated with me very powerfully. And she said, if you're going to fail, fail fast. So we're going to be having her on to talk about the fail fast hat because there is a part of being a boss is the ability to say this is not working, what's next?
Right.
And how do you know when is the right thing? I had shared on that same panel how I had clung on with a death grip to a particular business and should have failed much faster than I did. And so, I really take her advice to heart, and I think you all will really enjoy hearing from her. One other episode I'll mention, and then I'll turn it over to you, Mel, for some of the things you're looking forward to, is branding. And full disclosure, I am not great at branding. Mel is really, really good at it. But even still, even though we usually bring a guest on when we're not, when we don't think we're great at something, I'll acknowledge that Mel is very good at it. But we decided to also bring in a decades-long plus career professional to talk to us about personal and professional branding because this day and age, there is no boss without a brand,
No, none. You
right?
don't exist.
You don't exist. So we will be talking about branding, and I'm very excited for you to hear some tips and insights from our guests on that episode. Mel, what are you thinking about? What are you looking forward to?
I want to share that, but before I dive into the episodes that I'm looking forward to, I also want to share with our audience um, a little bit more behind the scenes about why we're in this place that we're in, not just why we're calling it the Boss Babes season, but where we are in our own professional lives and careers. So during many planning meetings, friendship meetings, cackling hoo meetings, Carrie and I, we talk about the Hats podcast, but we also talk about what's happening in our own personal lives and our professional lives. And we both acknowledge that we're in this season of life where, as our pastor has been talking about it, wanting to get to our second life, and our second life of doing things differently, elevating ourselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally, professionally, personally, and leaving behind some of the things that didn't work and leaving behind some of the things that we no longer have any business doing, and really elevating ourselves to what's next in this season of our lives. And we recognize that our listeners are in a variety of seasons also, which is the beauty of all of us wearing different hats. And so we also know that we have some of you that are listening and that tune into our podcast that are in this season of like, okay, I've been doing XYZ for this amount of time. I'm ready to get to the next level. And so even with Kerri launching her book and it becoming bestseller, she's like, I have some goals as it relates, that are separate from her franchise business. And so there are things that we want to learn in this season, and there are things that we want to share. Kerri and I both are Deltas. And as Deltas, we're all about fortitude. While we are climbing, we are also pulling up the next person, the next woman, the next family with us. And so that's what we're hoping that you will gain from this season, that it's not just about us parading around our progress and where we're going next, but that we're also sharing that knowledge so that if you need to fail fast, you've already gotten that information. So when you have to make that decision, that you're even more well equipped than where you are right now. And so with that being said, I will say there's a few episodes that I'm really looking forward to. One of them is we're going to have a woman to come on to talk about how do you diversify your business? How do you have maybe a variety of businesses? We hear so often that you have to diversify your income. You have to have a source of income from a variety of places to really like live, especially here in California, here in Los Angeles. And so we're going to have a woman come on who owns several businesses that have been successful, from a restaurant to a gym. Her name is Danielle. And I can't wait to speak to her because I have so many like ideas about different types of businesses. And so it's going to be nice to talk to someone who has done the work and who is successfully having several different types of businesses and what that looks like. Another episode I'm really looking forward to is the board of directors hat. We're going to have Tamala Lewis come on and talk to us about that. She is a board member of a variety of boards. She is on the board of directors for a variety of organizations. And so as Carrie and I ourselves, as I mentioned, have been talking about leveling up. Sometimes that is a decision that you have to make in your career path. Do I want to be? How do I go about doing it? Or sometimes you get an invitation. And so it's nice to be equipped with that information because I'm all about an informed decision. If I'm going to say yes, no, or maybe, I want to be equipped with the tools to help me to be able to make a informed decision. And we want to pass that knowledge on to you as well, Hatters.
I just want to second your opening comments, Mel, because sometimes we forget. And I was on doing a radio interview a couple weeks ago, and someone asked me for something, and I just wanted to be very clear with the listeners, like, I'm not offering this because I want to somehow make myself look better. And to your point, Mel, and hopefully you already know this about us, Hatters, we are not here to sell you anything. We're not here to pump ourselves up. This is all actually something that we take time away from all the other things that we do just because we love being here and sharing. So this season really is about impact. How can we impact people who might be looking to do more, or to elevate, or who might be in a place where I'm not necessarily going up, but I'm looking to go wider. I'm in a space that I really love. How do I expand myself in this space? So this definitely, sure, we're going to share our stories because we are blessed to have good stories. And sure, we will bring in some guests that are going to enlighten you, but really our ultimate goal always is to have impact and to try and help anyone out there who might be listening. So I think that's kind of the sentiment you were trying to capture. I just wanted to kind of second that emotion. If for whatever reason it was coming off the wrong way, because sometimes we don't know how we sound. So,
Very true.
we got to remind you we're coming from a legit place of love. That's really what this is all about.
Yes, very true. And you're right. We don't always know how we sound, but I will say that I think that you do a good job of pulling my coattail and I do a good job of pulling your coattail. So we help each other out, but we're also open to our lovely Hatters helping us out too.
So that was just kind of a little bit of insight. We certainly always have room, as Mel just said, for your questions. If you have a particular topic that you think would fit perfectly in this season, we would definitely love to hear from you. So you can either drop us a note in the chat, you can send us a DM, because we, of course, want to bring you the things that you really want to hear and that will resonate with you. And we only talked about 5 or 6 episodes. As you know, Hatters, our seasons are typically in the range of 20 to 25 episodes. So we've been working diligently to fill this season up. We've got a whole list of things that we are going to cover. But just know that we are always here for you. We are ultimately wanting to know how we can best impact our community of Hatters out there. And we can best do that if we hear from you. So please find us on social media, reach out to us however you can find us, which is a lot of different ways.
Right, absolutely. A lot of different ways. Two things before we shift. One other episode that I didn't mention that I'm looking forward to is the AI hat. And the AI hat as a boss babe. We are going to have my husband, Dumaz, come on and talk about that. And I want to bring that up because I know AI is in front of us in so many ways. Artificial intelligence, whether it's through our kids or through ourselves, our personal lives, or our business. And if we're talking about elevating, if we're talking about staying relevant, if you will, then AI must be part of the conversation. And so I want to share that here in this opener as something else to be excited, ladies, or gentlemen, to be excited about what's coming for season 9. Carrie, I do have a question for you. So we've been talking about, or I mentioned, getting to our second life, and you made such a beautiful visual when you said, even if you're not looking to go up, maybe you're looking to go wider. One thing I think it would be helpful for our hatters to know is, in this season, what are your goals as a boss babe, boss bitch? What are your boss bitch goals?
First of all, can I just comment on AI very quickly? And it is relevant to my answer to your question, which is I just came from a 3-day conference. Every single day of that conference, somebody was talking about AI in some way, shape, or form. Even I was lucky enough that the conference was in the city where my family is, and my cousin, who's a very successful lawyer, showed me a picture or an image of AI where he had taken 2 headshots, one of himself and one of a woman that he works with, and I guess he had put into this AI app, you know, "Make these headshots kiss." And when I tell you, they look like Academy Award-winning actors
Wow.
that were kissing, and that was all it was 2 completely still headshots. So I share that to say the same way you can't be a boss without a brand, you have got to start having some familiarity with AI. And of course, kudos to Mel for thinking of this topic because I'm always, on the tail end of all these technology things, and you and Khalil are always moving forward. So I'm personally very excited about that episode. But the answer to your question is actually, I just really publicly shared for the first time what my personal goal is just yesterday
Oh,
at this
perfect
conference.
timing for me
So
to ask this
I
question.
know, I know, I know. It was on your heart to ask me, and so my right now I find myself in a position where I am very grateful, and I love being a franchisee, a McDonald's franchisee. I have the opportunity to work with amazing people. We are able to impact our communities. It also has given me it's given me the foundation for my book, which is why I even wrote that book, Our Family Story Around Franchising. And it's given me also opportunities in leadership, many times of which I'm required to present and to give information on a variety of different topics. And I have always been a person who's been very comfortable on stage. And when I was young, that primarily manifested in dance. I also was, active in student government. And so I often, kind of found myself in that sort of role. All that to say, I have been very interested lately in pursuing a career in public speaking.
Awesome.
Now, I I am bold in many ways, but I'm not always bold in believing what my capabilities are. And so I've just kind of taken opportunities, like I said, in leadership and in different ways. Over the last couple of years, I've been given opportunities and I just kind of take them and I don't do anything about it. And a part of that was because in my head, at least, and fault me for being overly prepared, but in my head, I felt like I needed to publish a book first before I could launch a public speaking career. I don't know that that's actually true, but that's what I believed in my head. So I kind of put off my interest in pursuing this as a goal until I had published my book. So now I published my book in July of 2024. And so I feel finally ready to say, I have a goal of becoming a public speaker. Yay!
Yay! And I
Um,
love that you looked at the camera and said it.
I know.
Let the world know. Speak it into existence.
Speak it.
God put it in your heart, and now we are saying it out loud so that everyone else can hear it too.
So that is true. So yesterday I had the opportunity. So this is how you know that things seem to be right. Like sometimes I still get nervous and I still have that imposter syndrome. But about a month or two ago, I was invited by the president of one of the organizations that I'm in. I'm on the executive board. And she called me and she called one other woman. And she said, our second day of our conference is about innovation. And both of you ladies seem to be innovating yourself, different than innovations in technology, which we talk about a lot in our business, different than innovating socially, lots of different ways to innovate. You ladies are innovating yourselves. And I would like for you two to speak on the topic of self-innovation. And so she did not know that I wanted to do public speaking. And so I, of course, said yes. I was very excited. I knew it would be an audience of more than 500 people, that I would be able to record it. Like I knew it would be, and I also knew it would be an opportunity to work with someone who could help me put my slideshow together for free. That's not always free. And so I was thrilled. And so I took this as an opportunity to kind of talk about, what is innovation. And I also talked about AI and how it's innovating things. And then I talked about what it means to innovate yourself. And then I shared with the audience that one way I'm looking to innovate myself is to take my existing public speaking opportunities and innovate them into paid speaking opportunities. And that's a very different thing because you can be invited to speak for free
Yes.
lots of different ways, different places, different spaces. But to really take it to the next level and start getting paid for your work, your speaking, your thoughts is a very different thing. That's a different path. It's a different energy. It's a different level of effort. It's a different way of presenting. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into innovating from a free public speaker to a paid public speaker. So I shared that goal. I received, not surprisingly, I'm not surprised, so much positive feedback from that. And one person actually emailed me and said one of her mentors had told her that when you speak your goal publicly, that is when other people step in to help you achieve it. So,
Absolutely.
thank you for asking me
Yeah.
because I don't know that I necessarily would have shared it in that way, but I feel prepared to share because sometimes it's scary to say things out loud,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
Right? Like, oh goodness, I don't know. Now people are going to know they're going to be watching me. I don't really know what to do. So, in any event, I am taking some steps to actively pursue this goal. And so that's really the way that I'm trying to, because I am in a space where I have the opportunity, but I'm looking to expand both outward and upward.
Right.
So, I would love to hear from you, Mel. Thank you for asking me that. And you have shared with me privately some things that you're looking to do. So are there some things that you're looking to do in your career that you feel comfortable sharing with the Hatters?
Yeah, thank you for asking. And thank you for your transparency and what you shared. I think that the challenges, whether it's mental, emotional, that you experienced as you got to where you are now, many of us have been there, and I'm sure our hatters as well too. And you're right, you didn't need a book to pursue public speaking, but I also know that it is common, especially for us as Black women, especially for those of us that are ambitious. We're like, okay, well, let me do this thing first before I get to this thing, and it takes me back whenever I have that thought. It takes me back to something that one of my very first career coaches told me. I wanted to raise my private practice rates. And she said, well, what's stopping you from doing it right now? And I said, well, first, I think I should go get certified in this particular model. She was like, said who? If today you feel that you are worthy of that rate, then that is now your new rate. You don't need a new degree, new certification, a new book, a new anything to command this rate for the work that you're already doing. And I said, well, damn, she's right.
Sounds like a boss to me.
Right, exactly. And so I say that to say, like, you're not alone in having those thoughts. And also, as a reminder for all of us that we don't need another comma behind our name, another accolade, another something paragraph on our resume, that we're worthy just where we are, just how we are. And if we had the thought and if God planted that seed in us, then it's because he wants to see us to pursue it. So your question, what is my professional goal? Mine is not as beautifully and tightly wrapped as yours. Like you said, public speaking, and boom, we went there. It was mine is a little bit more, I won't say convoluted. It is a little bit more wordy. Let's just say that. So Hatters, as many of you know, I work in private practice, and one of my goals for the past couple of years has been to move from the one-to-one model, which I do one-on-one clients, to shift to the one-to-many model, or even business-to-business model. And so what that has looked like for me over the last couple of years is corporate wellness contracts. My amazing friend has also helped me to draft some of my contracts, which I appreciate. And then also doing more wellness events. I have done some where I've hosted myself, and then I've done some where I've been asked to collaborate or come alongside and be a panel member, and to do more speaking events as well. So that is my goal. I want to take health and wellness and mental health, not just, I want to take it, I'm sorry, I want to take it from my office, from helping and impacting an individual client, to being able to help and impact more than one person at a time. And I've shared this openly on the Hats podcast too, and many other podcasts that I've been interviewed on, which is, when God told me or guided me to me being a therapist, he told me from the beginning that being a therapist was the beginning of my career and not the end. And so I know that the foundation of who I am as a therapist is going to help me to be able to impact and to help others who may never get a chance to sit in my office, but they still benefit from the medicine that God has poured into me to be able to pour out into other people.
I love that. And I think it's, this is a world right now where people, one, are very much in need of wellness, and the wellness space is expanding to be and to mean so many different things. So I just look forward to all the opportunities that people will have. And, it's interesting that you say some people may not be able to come to your office for a variety of different reasons: geography, finances, time, etc. But if they can attend an event where where you are impacting their lives, it might lead them on a totally different wellness journey, and it might be the foundation for them to find the wellness and healing and strength and energy to go on to do bigger and better things. So, it's happening, right? It is happening, and I've seen it, and, I'm just thrilled to see what's next. I've been a participant in a couple of the things. I went to a journaling session she had one night.
She
Came there
showed
as
up
angry as can be.
She signed up online and paid too. I was like,
Of
girl, you
course
could
I
have just
did.
came. She was like, no, no, no. I'm here to
No.
support my friend.
That is how you truly support your friends. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's next for both of us. For both of us. And as our paths continue to, it's like we just kind of we keep coming back together for our podcast, but we also keep growing and swimming and expanding our territory. So I'm excited for both of us.
Yes, very much excited. Carrie, you mentioned earlier about the value and the importance of our listeners with where they listen to our podcast. And I want to come back to that, and to also say that we appreciate not just when you listen, we also appreciate when you share it. Rather you're sharing it with a friend and a text message or email, or sharing it online, because ultimately, as Carrie again so beautifully said, sometimes we want to go long or wide. Sometimes we want to elevate and go high. And for the Hats podcast, we want all of the above. Like, we want both. We do want to be able to impact more lives, but then we also have some podcast goals too. And we know that, podcasts, we're not doing this for opportunity, but we are also open to the opportunity that podcast could bring our way, or that, being the co-host of the Hats podcast to bring our way. So all that to say, please remember to share, listen, download, leave a review, leave us some stars wherever you listen to our podcast, because that is what helps us to grow, and it doesn't cost you anything but your time and a few moments of your time. So we'd be so grateful for that. Thank you.
And think of that investment of time as an investment in whoever else is able to get it. You're sharing it because you got something from it. So think of it as an investment in someone else. Because I really do think that I had someone come up to me, and this is always those moments that are like, okay, we're doing the right thing. And someone came up to me and she's like, I was waiting until I saw you in person, but I just want you to know I love your podcast.
Oh, I love
And I
that.
was so grateful to hear that. And I was like, thank you so much for listening. Feel free to leave a review if you like. But I mean, we just, you always wonder, you send these things out there. We've said this before. You send it out there, you never really know. But now, we'll look forward to some likes on YouTube and sharing on YouTube and all those other things. So, looking very much forward to season 9 and all that it brings for us, for you, our community of Hatters, and whomever we may each equally impact through this endeavor of ours. So, as always, Hatters, we want to say thank you so much for listening, and we tip our hats to you. The information in this podcast is provided for general informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, medical, or therapeutic advice. Listening to this podcast does not take the place of developing an individual relationship with a therapist or attorney. If you need help for mental health or legal issues, we strongly encourage you to find a professional in your area who can help meet your individual needs.